Nature can be unpredictable. Some plants thrive, others don't. Let's put it to the test. Join me as we launch our A/B test for native Irish wildflowers. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, a warm welcome to Bloomy Slopes Gardens. If you caught my last video, you saw us tackle the terracing challenge of building this raised bed on our tricky sandy hillside. Well, today we move on from the construction to cultivation, and honestly this is the part I'm most excited about. We're starting our systematic wildflower trials to discover which native Irish species will actually thrive here before committing to the much larger Rewilding project in the lower gardens. Now you might be thinking, wildflowers, just scatter some seeds and let nature take its course. And you know what? That was my first instinct too. But gardening on this coastal slope has taught me that nothing is ever that straightforward here. The slope is steep, the soil is variable, and our wind exposure is intense. So instead of crossing our fingers and hoping for the best, we're getting properly scientific about this. This little raised bed is our testing ground, a controlled environment where we can methodically trial different species, observe which flourishes, what struggles, and what surprises us. By the end of the trials, we hope to have some real data about what works here, and not just wishful thinking. Trying to control environmental conditions for a trial like this, especially in a dynamic space like a garden, is never going to be an exact science. And accepting that limitation, here are some of the key variables I've been considering as we set up this experiment. This raised bed sits on a similar incline to parts of our lower garden where we essentially want to expand our rewilding efforts. While the lower section is a touch steeper, the principles we learn here about managing sandy soil on a slope should translate beautifully. You know, I've been talking a lot about our wildlife corridor, that green highway we're building for our local fauna. This raised bed is strategically positioned right beside it. The dream is that this whole area could eventually become a vibrant extension of that corridor, providing safe passage for our resident foxes and a buffet for our pollinators. We've used the exact sandy soil we dug out from the hillside. While it's impossible to get a perfect match across different garden areas, this gives us a solid baseline of what's naturally present here. The lower garden has slightly less sand, but these trials will teach us volumes about working with what we've got. Wind is massive here on the coast. Fortunately, our shelter belt, those mature trees you often see in the background, blocks the prevailing winds from at least one direction. Both this raised bed and the lower garden share this wind protection. So that variable should remain fairly consistent across them both. Actually, if you'd like a dedicated video on how our shelter belts work, let me know in the comments below. Here's where it gets really interesting. This new raised bed receives similar sun exposure to roughly half of our lower garden. But the other half of the lower garden sits much further out from the shelter belt and gets significantly more direct sun. This difference is something we're not going to be able to account for. And it will be interesting to observe what happens as the wildflowers establish themselves. Gardening is always an ongoing experiment. The goal is controlling for as many factors as possible to get meaningful, translatable results. Essentially everything I need to know about which native Irish wildflowers will thrive in these conditions before expanding this project down the hillside. And speaking of that next phase, the steeper lower garden will likely need different terracing techniques. Plus we'll need to build proper pathways into the hillside. Bramble-free pathways, of course. Our foxes deserve safe passage through their new wildflower paradise. So, here's the big question this whole experiment is designed to answer. Should we use a native Irish coastal wildflower mix here? Or would a regular wildflower mix work just as well? You see, we're located right on the Irish south coast, within a sheltered harbour. Logic says we should be battling salt damage constantly. But, and here's the fascinating thing, we actually see very little salt residue. Our house windows, for instance, never get that telltale salt smear you'd expect. This unique microclimate might mean we can get away with plants that typically wouldn't survive true coastal exposure. There's only one way to find out: a classic A/B test. I've sourced both mixes from a fantastic local seed company, and no, not sponsored. I just love supporting local businesses. We're planting their coastal wildflower mix on one side, side A, and their regular wildflower mix on the other, side B, under similar conditions. My hypothesis? Given our sheltered location, the difference might be negligible, but honestly, I'd be thrilled to be proven wrong. That's the beauty of proper experimentation. What's your prediction? Will the coastal mix dominate? Or will they perform neck and neck? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've run your own planting trials or have experience of planting wildflowers on the Irish coast, I'm dying to hear all about them. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for updates on our rewilding adventure, and I'll see you in the next one, where we check in on our baby wildflowers. So long, and happy gardening.